Hey everyone, just going to run you through yesterday's bench session. I worked up to 315 for 3 in paused triples for the day. I didn't get my first work set, which was 275, so we'll start here at 295. So last week I tested my bench and I got up to 365. And the pause on 365 was questionable. And it's not so much that I'm weak off my chest, but psychologically, I just don't think that I have it in my mind that I have the ability to do a good pause with 365, or really anything above 335. It's a mental game for me. So after identifying that weakness, moving ahead, I've decided that I need to train more paused bench at these heavier T1 level intensities just to get more comfortable with it, just to kind of realize to myself that I can pause these heavier intensities for legit pauses. Now, I worked up to this 315 triple, and this is pretty good for me. I think I've done 315 for 1 before with a really good pause, and I've done it for 3 with pauses, but not anything as good as that pause, and definitely not without my wrist straps on. And I'm wearing the elbow sleeve because it's helping out with my elbow pain. It's slowly going away. So after that, I moved out of my T2 stuff, doing the same benching, long pauses, 5 sets of 5 at 275, and I just want to ingrain that movement of having a strong pause at the bottom. Now the next thing I want to talk about is movement quality technical failure. So many times people will try to train with my method, and my method does inherently have a lot of volume, especially as it progresses through a training cycle. You're going to be handling quite a bit of volume with pretty high intensities. Now, they're not impossible intensities, and it's not an impossible amount of volume, but for some people, they just make it to themselves not possible. And what I mean by that is they're not maintaining good movement quality. So what they're doing when they're completing these repetitions, they reach a point of technical failure. And what I mean by that is they're strong enough to complete the reps, but they're not completing the reps in a way that is most efficient for that movement. So essentially, you're fighting the weight. It's kind of like when you're instructing swimming. You don't want to fight the water because then you're just going to get tired and you're going to drown. So don't fight the weight. There's a right way to do these movements, and you need to find your own right way to do these movements. The way that I bench here with my competition style bench is super wide. Not many people can handle that kind of wide grip bench pressing because it'll tear their shoulders up. So experiment with your form, experiment with your technique, and then train that technique until you reach that point of technical failure where your fatigue is becomes so great that you can no longer maintain that rep quality, that movement quality. Because then it's going to be a lot more manageable stress input of the training that you're doing, and so it's going to cause that stress adaptation that you need in order to get stronger, in order to get bigger, and it's not going to burn you out as much. And that's a big thing to remember, is that just because there's sets or reps or weights that are written on paper, it doesn't mean that you have to do that. If that day is a really crappy day and you're just fighting the weight, then it would be smart to change the parameters of that day. One day is not going to make a huge impact in the long scheme of things. But if you're consistently grinding at the weights just over and over and again, that's what's going to impact your training negatively. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Take it easy.